you doing?
I'm good. I'm so happy we're finally able to do this.
Yes, yes, yes. Let me
I
see.
love your
All
hair.
right. But this beauty is author
I
Monique Fisher. How you
love your
doing?
hair.
Thank you. Girl, it's coming out this weekend. It is mad at baby.
That's quite crazy because I'm getting braids in tomorrow because I heard it's going to be really, really hot in Atlanta and I'm going to BRBF. So I want to make sure that I was ready.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. So let's get started, right? So I've read, I think, two books. I read, and I think my favorite, what is it? Hold on. So my favorite is Where There's Smoke, There's Fire.
Thank you.
So, what is your inspiration? Well, I'm not going to even go that philosophical. What made you write that story? Because that was crazy.
I I like to challenge myself and I thought, what if I wrote my answer to the epic love story? It
Hmm.
spanned 15 years and it was in one book.
Right.
So it was just like a challenge to myself. And uh, it's been really well received and I'm really, really grateful. I'm grateful to every single person who's read it and every single person who's loved it.
Hmm.
One of the things that I've noticed is a lot of folks who have reached out to me have told me that they thought of it as being really ambitious. And I remember somebody else mentioned I this I'm so surprised that this wasn't a series. And what's funny is that it didn't even occur to me to make it into a
Like
series.
I could have went for some more, but was it hard to do that long of a lifespan?
Yeah. I kept thinking of, oh, should I have included this? Should I have included that? Maybe I should have included the trip that the ladies took as like a bonus or an extra chapter. And who knows? And maybe I'll even do that. But it was definitely kind of, it was hard to figure out what to pare down.
Hmm.
But I really hope that I conveyed the point that I was trying to make, which is basically that love is worth it, but it ain't easy. And after you get past the happily ever after, that's what. Are we allowed to cuss?
Yes.
Okay, that's when the real shit happens.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the point I was trying to convey.
But the thing is, with this couple, they handled it with grace. Even though he had his prior life,
Hmm.
you know, spoke when it was necessary. But I guess what I loved more so about it was she knew it. She knew when smoke was coming out, she was getting ready to act a whole donkey too. So
Yeah,
I,
it's
I did. I love
yeah,
that.
like we love each other, but you know what? We get on each other's nerves. It
Right.
happens. That's real life, and I wanted to just show that, like, just show all of life's the everyday things, going to work, having kids, how that changes everything. You know, career changes, uh, deaths of family members, like real life stuff happens, and even in the midst of you being in this relationship with this person, that doesn't stop real life.
Hmm.
So I wanted to like make sure that I showed that and conveyed that, and I'm happy. I'm happy that so many people have reacted so positively to it,
I did. I
and
loved it.
thank you so
Okay,
much.
so question:
Yes.
what has being an author taught you about yourself?
That's a good question. Oh my God! Wow, we're getting
Oh, I'm
deep
sorry.
already. No, we're getting deep already. Oh, what has it taught me about myself? I think it taught me that I'm a lot more confident than I thought I was.
Okay.
Because there's always insecurities. Like we're human, we all have them.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I literally just thought to myself, I'm gonna write a book and I'm gonna release it, and I have to remind myself I have to give myself grace and also, pat myself on the back. It's important to be like your own biggest fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally like find myself thinking, I did that. I released a book, and then I released another one, and then another one, and then another one. Like it's and I ended up being well received. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
And still doing it.
Yeah, still doing it. Yeah,
And
that's
still
it's
doing it. It's
crazy.
not that I did it. I'm still doing it. I'm still moving forward. So we're not gonna put no cap on this, are we?
No, we're not.
That part. That part. All right. So when you first saw your title, when you first did your first book and you saw your name on that title and you got your first copy, your physical copy, what was that like?
Oh, I will never forget that. I didn't get a physical copy. Here's what happened. I contacted the ladies at Ripped Bodice because I live out here in LA, and they have the two locations, one in Brooklyn and one in Culver City.
Mm-hmm.
And I shout out to Erin LaRosa. She let me name drop her. I said, I'm gonna name drop you to get my book in this bookstore. Is that cool? She said, that's fine.
Really?
So yeah, so I asked the one of the I forget which one of the sisters. I think it was B or Bia. I asked her, my name is Monique Fisher. I'm a self-published indie author. This is the cover of my book. It's my debut novel. It's Where There's Smoke, There's Fire. I'm friends with Erin LaRosa. She told me all about you. You guys, I think this is amazing. Could you please stock my book? And she told me, uh, where can I get it? And I said, Ingram. She said, give me the ISBN number. So then a few weeks later, Lucy Eden and Mia Heiselman, my two friends, are in town doing a book event. So I went to the Rip Bodice to support them. And then I was looking at the bookshelf. I was curious to see if my book was there. And there it was. And I picked it up from the shelf and I held it in my hands and I took a picture. And it took every ounce of strength not to start crying because I still had to like sit in, I still had to sit and watch and support my friends and watch their panel. But
Right.
afterwards, I boo hooed and I went up to these two random white ladies and I said, I am so sorry. My name is Monique Fisher. I wrote this. And this is my first time seeing my book on a bookshelf. And they both bought a copy. So yeah, I will never forget that. That is an amazing feeling.
Okay, so I have two-part question just based on that. So the first part is, was it hard to get your book in the, I mean, is it still hard? Are you still getting your books on shelves as an independent author? And then the second reason, I mean, second question is, why did you decide to go indie?
Oh, second question, I could easily answer that. I'm a control freak. Anything that has my name on it, I need to give it my own stamp of approval. That includes the titles, the artwork, everything. I I do this for me. So I write the types of books that I would want to read, and I work with cover artists whose work I find eye-catching.
Mm-hmm.
So I do this for me, but I release it in the hopes that there's other, dorky black girls like me who like rom-coms and who like to laugh.
But you know
So
what? I mean, I like a good rom com. I like a good rom com. I like to laugh. I like the foolishness and the mayhem, but then I also like to be in the streets. But then I also like to be like, okay, it's too much street stuff. I need something that's going to cleanse that
the
palate, and that's
palette,
what you did
yes,
for me.
exactly, cleanse the palette.
Hmm. And that's
But to
what you
answer,
did for me. Hmm.
thank you, thank you so much. But to answer your first question, um, I've I still contact people. I still like every now and then on Thread somebody will say, "Hey, I'm a mobile book truck. Do you want me to stock your books? Let me know. Fill out an author interest form." So I have folks who order my stuff from Ingram, and I have folks that ask if I can mail it to me and then sign it and then send it to them. So yeah, it's a little of both. A little of me contacting people and a little of people saying, "Hey, I saw your book and I want to stock it." So I'm really blessed. I have books in various states throughout the U.S. I think a Canadian bookstore and a bookstore in the UK.
Wow. So okay, a lot of authors find it hard to get their books on shelves, and we do actually have a book owner here. She has an online bookstore, so I don't know if you know Shannon from the DFW Literary. We'll talk about her a little later. Um, but
Pleasure to meet you.
I'm sure Shannon will reach out to you because she does own a black owned. She has a black owned bookstore in the DFW area. Um, but can you speak to um, why distributing through Ingram Sparks versus Amazon?
Honestly, it's expensive, but I like the quality better. And actually I can't even really compare it because I've had friends who told me that they do it through Amazon. I've had friends that told me that they do it through Barnes and Noble, and I've heard negative things about pretty much all of them. But I've also heard like a fairly good positive things too. Ingram Spark is very expensive, but the quality is really good. The quality of the pages and the quality of the covers are amazing, and I've never been dissatisfied from it. So that's why I'm sticking with them for now.
But isn't it easier to get your books, your ISBNs through Ingram Sparks versus Amazon?
For paperbacks, I don't. I have my ebooks are through Amazon, and
Similar.
my paperbacks, I'll go ahead and I purchase them. Like if I'm uploading a new book into Ingram, I'll go ahead and I'll pay for the ISBN number right then and there. It's like $85.
Okay, because they can't control it.
They can't control it. So it's like it's $85. I'm paying $85 every few months because I usually release 3 books a year. So
Mhm.
every few months I'm giving the government $65 to copyright. I'm giving Eagle Spark. I'm giving the ISBN people $85. Like this indie thing ain't cheap, but protection is necessary.
So how do you protect yourself from piracy? People just posting anywhere. There's a lot of authors who, some of the popular authors, some of them not so popular. But how do you protect yourself against piracy people? The
I'm not even
the
sure that you
piracy people.
can because the fact is, I have books on piracy sites, and you remember that thing where I think it was 7 million authors had a book that got stolen. Yeah,
Mhm.
mine was Spend My Life with You was one of them. I have
Wow.
friends whose entire catalogs were taken, and I honestly, I don't want to sound pessimistic, especially if there's some aspiring authors here, but I'm not sure what to do. I mean, you can send I believe it's a DCMA. I've
Mhm.
sent those. They don't care. And
Wow.
it gets to the point where it's like, okay, well, am I going to have to hire a lawyer? And if that's the case, I live in California. Lawyers aren't cheap out here.
Oh,
And then
I'm north.
there's I'm
I'm in
south.
San Francisco.
Oh yeah, I'm in LA County. There's California Lawyers for the Arts, but I spoke to them about something, and they said, well, most lawyers are $700 an hour, but we can help you and help it make it down to $300 an hour. And I was like, that's still a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. It is a
So
lot of money.
I'm weighing my options. I'm a member of the Authors Guild, so I'm gonna contact them and see what can be done. But like for now, it's almost like there's always something.
Mhm.
Like there's marketing, there's promo. I'm getting ready to go to Atlanta for BRBF, and then I'm also going to 2 more events this year. Romance Con in Wisconsin and Steamy Lit Con in Anaheim.
Mhm.
So, you know, like okay, I literally write down like almost every single facet of my day, and
Right.
it'll be like okay, contact a lawyer, get in touch with so and so about this, prep for this, do that. So yeah, that's it's just one of those things where I'm definitely gonna try to contact the Authors Guild and see what can be done. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with all of the 7 million authors that got stolen from, but I I mean I'm thinking class action lawsuit. You
Yeah.
took our books.
Right. And sue them and get all your money back and and take the site down. All of
Exactly. Like the whole AI thing. Just don't even get me started on that.
them. So how not so much I'm trying to segue into a different topic. Um And it just slipped my mind, so never mind. So let's talk about something else. Um, as far as your books, you're at several events. What's the reception when you go to? And I hate to say this, the other side.
And that's interesting. I was on two panels at RomanceCon, and the majority of the authors there were white. There were people of color. There were black authors. That's actually how I first met Tanvier Pert.
Mm-hmm.
That's my girl. Um, Nicole Falls was there. Lucy Eden was there. So yeah, there were a few of us, but it was overwhelmingly white. I did a panel. I believe it was about romantic comedies. I did another panel about love in full bloom, writing characters that are in their 30s and 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And what was interesting was a few of the ladies who didn't know who I was. They came to my table and they said, "I had no idea who you are, but you have the most infectious laugh, and you were so like you were so fun, and I want to buy your books now. I want to buy all your books now." And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Okay.
So that's pretty much
You
like,
pay right here. Let me
I'm
bag
like,
this up.
oh, okay, cool. But yeah, on the other side, well, I was in Milwaukee, and my assistant, shout out to Cartier. He's a Milwaukee native, and he was my assistant. Hopefully, he'll be my assistant again this year. And I think between that and the fact that it was me, Tanvier, Sherelle Green, we all just kind of congregated towards with one another, but everybody was cool. And
Mm-hmm.
that was one of that for that to have been my first event. I was so incredibly happy because I, of course, we all have heard the horror stories of like a lot of these events,
Right.
how they feel like how the people end up feeling like they were scammed. So this was so well organized, and it was a really amazing experience, and I had an incredible time, which is why I'm going back again this year. And it's interesting because I'm going to one that's predominantly black, one that's predominantly white, and one that's like just BIPOC because it's in not LA, but it's in Anaheim, so
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to be like a mix of everybody. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's definitely going to be interesting, like comparing. But yeah,
Yeah, because I want to know if you have to sell hard. Where do you have to sell harder? Do you sell harder at black events, or do you sell harder at mixed events? You know, where everybody's there, or do you sell harder at specifically white events?
mm, okay. Well, I did Girlfriends Unfiltered like a week after I did Romance Con. I do not recommend doing that because I had to mail back all my stuff, like the banners and the books and everything, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stuff ended up being late. So I did have to work a little harder because I was at a disadvantage only because I didn't have my banners. I didn't have like all my
Mm-hmm.
books. I didn't have like a whole bunch of other stuff. So that was the only reason why I had to like, sell harder at the black the Girlfriends Unfiltered, which was a predominantly black event. Whereas with Romance Con, I had my banner, I had like the table set up with everything, and I had a much larger number of free swag, so it didn't take as long to get people to notice. So, but that was literally the only reason. I'll be able to better answer that question once I get back from Atlanta. Then I
I
can
want to
make a
know. I
more,
really do
then I
want
can
to.
make a much more fair comparison.
Yeah, I really want to know because I feel like sometimes, and I'm not saying all the time, that some black authors are feel like they don't have space in a white venue like that. Um, and I kind of want to feel like I kind of want to either bridge the gap or feel or create a situation where they can, because some people feel, oh, I can't, if I'm not invited, I don't go to any book events because I'm not invited. Or when there are um, lit signups for events, they're like, oh, I can't go because whatever. It's always an excuse. So I'm trying to do my own little research on what the holdup is so that authors are getting to where they need to go.
Hmm.
Because the readers want to see you
Yeah,
if you can.
yeah, that I understand. Um, Yeah, I really will need to wait till I get back, and then I can
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
like
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
send you a DM. I'll let you know like in comparison to last year and just going to BRBF, and even when I go back to Milwaukee, I can like let you know how that goes too. All
Okay.
I know is when I was at my table, people would walk by. You know, you make eye contact. You know, you kind of wave, you smile, or whatever. You're obviously you're friendly, and you know people will stop when they want to stop. If people don't want to stop, they're not going to. I am I was more approached more by black women. I will say that, and I will always go up for black women because that's my biggest readership. I am a black woman. I love us, so I'm always going to go up for that. And I can tell you just for a fact that the folks who stopped because they saw me were black women. The folks who stopped because they saw my books and they were curious, that was mostly white folks.
Okay. Fair assessment. All right, I do have my question came back. So my question is, with the current political climate and states are banning books out of schools and libraries and they're shutting down a whole bunch of stuff. What's your take on what's going on, and are you in fear of, do you feel like it's going to affect you personally?
I'm terrified.
Hmm.
I'm terrified. I when this all first started happening, sex workers were the first ones to tell us they're going after everybody. But a lot of folks didn't listen because sex work is looked down upon. But
Hmm.
they're usually the first ones to tell you when a recession's happening because they make good money. Because they make good money. You may not like what they do, but you like it enough to pay for it. So, and they were the first ones to tell us this isn't going to end well. So we'll probably end up. I don't know if we're going to end up having to go like underground or something. I don't know, but I'm scared. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to release books anymore. I mean, between the price of everything, I don't quite understand tariffs, but I know that the price of paper is probably going to end up going up.
That's exactly it. You're paying the tax for getting the goods from somewhere else.
Yeah. So between that and between censorship, because this is that's what this is, I'm as an author, I'm scared. I mean, I'm gonna keep writing. I'm not sure how I'm gonna like distribute or release books, but I'm definitely gonna keep writing. I'm gonna keep releasing them as long as I can.
That's what I'm thinking on. I'm thinking on ways, creative ways to, um, because I think we're going to have to come as a collective and figure out a creative way to make sure that you're still being paid for your
Just got
for your worth. Because again, but we also have to figure out how to keep it going, because if they're going to take you out of schools, you can't talk about this and they can't talk about that. They want you to, they want everything very, very vanilla. And
yeah,
it's a little scary. And I
yeah,
see it. I see it coming.
yeah.
I do.
I'm a lot scared. I every time there's like a moment where I wake up every morning and I almost feel okay, and then I remember. It's almost like I forget and like my brain just resets, and then I remember. I'll like go online and I'll remember. Oh right, there's a good chance I'm not gonna be able to do this anymore. It's like we're gonna have to like bootleg books or like something.
Exactly. That's what's going to happen.
So
Yep. Email is going to be everybody friends. And I just don't know how to, I would love to have a solution on protecting your work, because again, you don't want people to come in this space and take credit for anything, because again, if you're doing it underground or you're sending ebooks, you have to figure out how to protect it, and we don't know how to do that.
yeah, it's like how you're gonna upload it to copyright.gov. The
Right.
government's now gonna have your book, and now they're gonna know
Exactly.
what you write. So it's a whole lot of stuff that's Yeah, I have no idea how we're gonna navigate this. I'm just gonna keep writing, and that's
Thank
all I
you.
can do.
But thank you for saying that you're going to do it anyway because it's your gift. Why they're trying to stifle us because of our skin color is beyond me, but it is what it is.
Exactly.
So,
I love writing, and I love it way too much to stop. I wouldn't be able to turn my brain off anyway.
but when did you know you had it? When did you know it's like, I'm pretty good at this?
College. I majored in theater, and I my concentrations were playwriting and stage directing. And I wrote a play, which I get best the best way you could describe it is basically if I'm Gonna Get You Sucker was a one act play because it was this parody of black exploitation movies.
Right.
And in the playwriting class, you had to cast people, and they like did like a stage read of your play in front of everybody, and I got the loudest applause. And that's when I was like, oh, maybe I can make this into a career. I'm not gonna make a lot of money, but maybe I can make this into something. So I wrote plays, and then I'm blessed enough to live in Los Angeles because I transitioned into wanting to get into television writing, and I took multiple classes, including one with a lovely gentleman named Mark Alton Brown. It was
Mm-hmm.
at the Los Angeles LGBT Center, and he was a producer and a writer on Girlfriends,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a um, tremendous instructor. I also took classes at Script Anatomy. I learned how to write a comedy script at Script Anatomy. As far as I'm concerned, I think that every writer, no matter what the medium, you should take classes on all forms of writing, just all of it. That way, you'll know how to write a screenplay, you'll know how to write a stage play, you know how to write a graphic novel or a comic book, and you know how to write a novel. I just named everything that I know how to write because I took classes on how to do it. And uh, the sitcom writing class was like comedy boot camp. And since I love writing romantic comedies and I love making folks laugh and I love laughing myself. So I just I took this class and just it's 20 pages. You have 20 minutes to when you have a pilot to introduce the world of the show, introduce the characters, provide an A, B, and C story, and oh yeah, by the way, it has to be funny. So I kill my darlings. I'm not precious about my words. If something's not working and if the joke isn't working, I'll delete it and get rid of it and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I actually learned was not to be so precious about my words because if a joke works, it works. You just gotta like get it to
Right.
like there's something here. I know there's something here. I just need to keep working on it and getting it to the
Gotta get
point
the
where I can find
timing.
the
You got to get
timing,
the
the
punchline
punchline.
just right. Right.
Yes. So I know there's something here. But if there's nothing there and you find yourself just pushing and pushing and pushing, it's like just delete it. It's not working. So I learned not to be very precious about my words, but I also learned, the quickness
Right.
of like joke, 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 joke. I love what I do and it's incredibly fun, but I also take it seriously because it is not easy to write comedy. It is not easy to write comedy.
And
It,
some people who
you're
think they funny, not funny.
you said it, not me. But for real, it's easier to make somebody cry than it is to make them laugh.
Yes.
And all of our senses of humor are very different. Everybody's sense of humor is incredibly different, and humor is subjective. But I try to write stuff that I think is funny in the hopes that there's other people out there who have a goofy sense of humor like me. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the best that I can do. But yeah, I definitely just going back to all the training that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think back on it, and even though I'm not writing comic books anymore, or plays, or television, I know how to do that. So, and you never know. You never know what will happen in the future. Um, Amazing things, amazing opportunities happen to us in this space all the time. Look at I don't want to mispronounce her name. Is it Jaquel?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that sister. Look at what she's doing.
Yep. Yep.
Amazing opportunities always happen for us. So who knows? Somebody might want to adapt my stuff into something for the screen. Oh, really? I know how to do that.
Right. But there are people that Rowdy Gunshine, they turn books into movies, scripted podcasts. She's an author herself, so they're turning them into whatever it is that you know fits your genre or the
I mean,
book.
for
Would
me
better work.
personally, I would love to have my rom com universe be made into an adult animated series. I think that would be great.
I
We
think
just need to
so
find some
too.
animators and some money.
Listen, I would
Whatever
love
happened to
to.
benefactors? We talked about this in my Sunday group. I host a Sunday group for romance writers, romance and erotic writers.
Mm-hmm.
This is I'm gonna go ahead and pitch it really quickly if I can.
Go ahead, go.
It's we meet every Sunday from 11:30 a.m. to no 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's basically just a way to reflect and connect with like other like-minded people. Writing is very isolating, and I noticed when I was on Twitter a long time ago, folks were saying, "I wish that I had friends," and that was one of the reasons why I did this. It wasn't just because I wanted to write these stories. I also wanted to build a community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when I noticed that, I decided, oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to host this thing. And I've been doing it for, it'll be 3 years in August.
Mm-hmm.
And we meet up every Sunday and we just talk. We, do you have an idea you want to pitch? Um, are you stuck on something? You know, talk it out. Maybe we can get you in the right direction. What's everybody having for lunch today? Um, has anybody tried out any new recipes? What's a movie that everybody really enjoyed? We just talk and connect to one another, and I have it on Sundays. That way, you can start your week off. You
Mm-hmm.
know, with it's all black authors. All genders are welcome. The majority of us are black women, and like I said, we just connect with one another. One of the first things we say is, "What's everybody reading? What's everybody working on? How's everybody doing?" You know,
Mm-hmm.
we just chat.
That's my
Uh,
favorite question. What you reading? What you reading? Um, do you feel like all the classes, the writing classes, the different type of writing classes made you a stronger author?
I think so. I think it definitely made me a stronger writer. I definitely don't regret taking them. They cost a pretty penny, but it was getting that type of access. Like the television writing courses, I took television writing courses, like more than one with script anatomy, and they run it like a television writer's room.
Mm-hmm.
And the two people who run it are Tanya Bhattacharya and Ali Leventhal, and they're a writing duo. They've been in writers' rooms. Um, I have a friend who literally went from there to getting fellowships, and she wrote for the Netflix show Virgin River for a while.
Mm-hmm.
She's still currently looking for work as a TV writer, but she came from there and immediately was able to get a fellowship, and then she got an agent, and then she ended up getting a job. It's not as easy as well, not easy. I shouldn't say easy. It's not as accessible. None of
Mm-hmm.
this is easy. Forgive me for even using that word, but it's not as accessible because like fellowships aren't even around anymore, and the the SAG and WGA strike, like all the stuff that they were marching for, and she was telling me about it, and she basically let me know that it's even harder to break in now. So if I ever had the opportunity to make my own thing and not have to worry about trying to break in, I would do it in a heartbeat
Mm-hmm.
because I just feel like it's even harder now because
Mm-hmm.
there used to be NBC had, I think, Writers on the Verge,
Mm-hmm.
ABC had ABC Disney, Fox had one, CBS had one, the WB had one. It was like applying to grad school, but you had to have like a letter of intent, you had to have a bio, you had to have your script, you had to have all this stuff. But I had friends that got in, and I couldn't have been happier for them. It was amazing. And now this very same friend who was incredibly talented I admire the hell out of Natasha. Her name is Natasha Hall Payton,
Mm-hmm.
and she's amazing. And she's not working right now, and that's not fair. So if I ever get the opportunity of a person who, if anybody has money or you know somebody got money or something, because that's what I was getting at was the rich benefactors. We talked about this in the Sunday group. We're like, where are the rich people who are like, you make good shit. I like the shit that you make. Here's some money. Go make some more shit. Where are they?
And I think that's what we're trying to figure out. Like, we are a, we're very small in this space. You know, it may be. I know we authors are coming out every day. It's a book being released every day. It's a lot of books, and I can't keep up. But they're still only getting this little piece of the pie, just a little piece, and it's not a lot, and it's just enough to maybe feed you. Maybe you might get lucky like a Kennedy Ryan and get a deal, or if or a Jacquel J, where she's been writing for 10 years, and we just took a liking to it and made her number one. She still gotta struggle to get there. Where are the people that can make things happen? Like, is the question. So I'm gonna start looking for them.
It's like, if there could be so many, if there's like, there are so many adaptations of white dudes uh writing. There are so many adaptations of like all these white men's movies or books that get adapted into movies. It happens all the time. We all have different voices. There shouldn't be like this Highlander way of thinking where there can only be one. Like, no, my books are not like, I write rom coms. So does Tanvier. So does Nina High. Our books are different. Our voices are different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's room for
Absolutely.
everybody. This isn't a competition.
Absolutely. So,
And
but they sometimes people get in their own way, and sometimes it's just the stroke of luck. But I really want to find the ones that could really assist. Like, I know that they're making a lot of traditionally pub books into movies and stuff, but I need them to come on the indie side too.
yeah, yeah,
Excuse me.
it's just it's really frustrating because self-published gets such a bad rap because people focus on the self thing. They don't focus on the published part. It's like,
Right.
yeah, I published this myself, but I published something.
Right. And it's a lot of, like, I can't tell you the last time I read a traditionally published book other than Tati Richardson. Everything I read is indie. I can't tell you the last time I went to a bookstore and bought a book
Yeah, whenever
besides the
I get
DW literary.
yeah,
The
I think
literary.
like 90% of the stuff that I read is black and indie,
Mm-hmm.
and I order the ebooks and I get the paperbacks either from indie bookstores or directly from the person if they're at an event.
But I'm not slighting all bookstores, but there are a few bookstores that will not put indie books in their on their shelves because they're not traditionally published.
No,
Why
no, I'm aware. I'm
not?
aware. I'm aware.
And that to me is mind boggling. That to me is mind boggling.
I just don't get why you would want to miss out. Like you're missing out. You're really missing out. It's like
It's so many
it's like
things.
the AI argument. Like for me, aside from the fact that you can't copyright anything, aside from the fact that it's destroying the environment, aside from the fact that it's theft, there's also the fact that you're cheating yourself. You're cheating yourself out of the experience of working with amazing people. I work with incredibly talented artists, and when I get that initial sketch, I hope I never stop the excitement that I feel. I hope I never stop feeling it. The two things that I hope I never stop feeling is that excitement whenever I see my book out in the wild or somebody holding it, and the excitement that I get when I get that initial sketch. And the idea that I had in my head that I just told to this incredibly talented person, and they just made it real.
But
Why
I
would you want to cheat yourself out of that?
but I get it. I do. But I also get that sometimes people price themselves out of the market.
It's unfortunate.
It's
Um,
unfortunate.
there are people, however, who will work with you. Closed mouth doesn't get fed. Ask people, negotiate on price if you have to. Do I do not pay Lenny Kaufman the entire amount in one go. I pay her in installments. If you ask a lot of artists, they will agree to being paid in installments. You don't have to give like a gigantic lump sum or whatever. Anybody who has the the gift and the talent and the business acumen, they're gonna want to work with you. They're gonna want to
Mhm.
work with you. So yeah, just ask. Ask, is there a way that I can pay you in installments? Is there a way that we can negotiate on the price? Is there a way that I can trade something in favor? Like if you are an artist who's also a writer, I'm a writer and I'm in need of an artist, I
Mhm.
can beta read for you, like something. Barter. There are ways. I get that art is expensive, and I also get that I'm talking from a privileged point of view because I am a married woman who has a husband who does not mind helping out with this endeavor in this career that I've chosen, and I'm aware of that. But
Mhm.
what I also am aware of is that there are artists out there that will work with you. You just gotta ask.
There you guys have it. There you have it. Okay, so let's talk about you a little bit.
I
What would your readers be shocked to know about you?
have no idea. I'm pretty boring. I mean, I work from home. I work remotely. I work for a organization that teams up with celebrities to do philanthropic efforts. Uh, yeah, I work from home. I'm a mother of two. Yeah, my life's pretty boring. There's nothing really like shocking.
Boy, it's just life. It's just. Why would you say it's boring? You think your life is boring?
Well, I don't. It's there's not anything like it's every day I wake up in the morning, I greet my babies, I give them a hug and a kiss and greet them good morning. I help my husband get them ready for school. He drives them off. I go upstairs. I check my email at work. I also check social media to see what's going on. And then during my breaks, I take away my work laptop and I bring out my personal one and I get as many words in as I can during my hour-long break until
Mhm.
after work is over. And then I write for the rest of the night while my husband watches the kids. And then I'll stop, join them sometimes for like dinner or something, or to play with them and spend time with them, and then just go back to writing when they go back to sleep.
Wow.
And I try
Child,
to
you
do it.
busy.
I try to do it every day. So yeah, in addition to also like posting on social media and doing marketing and doing promotional stuff too. So I just
Which
try
is
to fit all of
another
that in.
job in itself.
It is. I always tell myself, oh, it's only gonna take me like a couple of hours or whatever, and then it ends up taking 4, and I'm like, oh my god, that just cut into my writing time.
What's the best part of the writing process for you?
Revisions. And I know that that sounds nuts because a lot of people are just like, really? Because whenever I tell people that, they are like, I hate that part. How do you love it? I love it because it reminds me of rehearsals, and I always loved rehearsals. When I would direct a play, or whether I was even in one, rehearsals were always the fun part because that's when you discover all the fun stuff. You
Hmm.
discover things about the characters. You discover things about, the story, and that happens with revisions too. I'm in the middle of revisions for the book I'm releasing in August, and I just came up with an idea. Then I literally had to stop writing because I jumped up and down because I was so excited about it. It's that's the I get a rush from stuff like that. And for me, just being having a theater background, revisions in my mind are rehearsals. Arcs are preview nights, and when your book goes live, that's opening night.
Hmm.
So, like my little theater geek brain, just I always loved rehearsals, And I always loved, stop. Let's take it from the top. Let's take it from her line. I want you to try that again, except I want you to try it like this. And hearing the actors, hearing their ideas, and it's almost like the same thing. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's almost like I'm directing my book.
Yeah,
And
that's what it sounds
the
like.
yeah, and the characters are basically I'm telling the characters, okay, I need you to do this, I need you to do that.
Hmm.
And it feels like I am in addition to writing the book, I'm also kind of like directing the book in a weird way too. So when the book goes live, like I said, that's opening night, and that's when I walk away from it for a bit, and then I start working on something else.
Do you go into the next book after you're done? You've uploaded your book and you've said the end.
hmm after everything's done and I uploaded it and it goes live and everything, I do some promo and stuff, and I'm like, hey, the book is live. Here's the link. Thank you to everyone who, thank you to all the ARC readers. Thank you to everyone who's pre-ordered. I hope you enjoy their story. I let everybody know how appreciative I am, because I don't take anything for granted.
Hmm.
The fact that I believe it's KENP, the
Hmm.
number of page reads that I get every day has never been zero.
Wow.
From the time I released my first book, it has never been zero. I don't take that for granted at all. So I make sure that I thank everybody when my book gets released, and then I go on to the next one.
So you don't take breaks at all.
I try to celebrate myself a little bit more. I admit I haven't been that great about it, like during release day, but this past release for Spend My Life with You in December, I invited my cousin. I invited my cousin over, and we had I butcher this word because I don't know how to say it. Is it charcuterie?
Cause charcuterie,
Charcuterie. We had a
charcuterie.
charcuterie board and we had wine and we toasted my book being live.
I need you to celebrate yourself just a little bit more.
Okay.
A
I will.
little, just a little. Because you are a phenomenal writer.
Thank you so
You are
much.
phenomenal. And I do enjoy your books. So um I understand you got to get yourself out there, but I also understand that you got to take the small wins too.
Yeah,
And
it's funny
anytime you
because
upload a book, that's a win.
it is. It's funny. My I'm a huge fan of the Jackson family. I'm a huge
Mhm.
Michael Jackson fan. And what's interesting is that whenever people would ask Janet, what is your advice to all the young people coming up? She would say, take the time and enjoy it. You
Mhm.
worked really hard for it. Take the time and enjoy it. And she said, my brother Michael told me that when she released
Mhm.
the Control album. So that's something that I always think about is the whole take the time and enjoy what you did. Like
Exactly.
I tell other people to do that, and I almost never end up doing it myself, but I'm definitely going to be better about it.
So,
Massage
um,
and cupcakes for the next release. You heard it here.
but guess what? You deserve it. You're a whole mama out here in the streets writing books and working and being a wife. You deserve it.
I will make sure I do that for myself. Thank you.
All right. Can you describe yourself in one word?
Ambitious.
Okay.
I
I agree with that. I do. I do. Um, Name something everybody loves, but you hate.
cannot think of anything that everybody loves that I don't like. Mm.
For me, I don't know about anybody else, but I hate asparagus. Now I know Shannon was on here earlier eating asparagus. I hate asparagus.
I'm not a fan of that either. I don't, but there's the thing. I don't know anybody who likes it either. Okay, what is something
Okay,
that
I got
everybody?
one.
Oh, you know what? If it's food related, I got one. It's not my favorite cake, but I really like red velvet cake, and people keep like giving me an eggnog. I like eggnog too. People, I see. Look at your face.
I don't like
I like
eggnog. I can't have the
it.
dairy. It's not you. It's just it don't agree with me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's understandable. But like with some Southern Comfort eggnog with some brandy, it's really good. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to enjoy it, but
Yeah, that wouldn't do well. For me, it's salmon. I hate salmon.
Oh, I
Salmon is
love
nasty.
salmon.
Yeah. All right. Uh, what was my question? Oh, fill in the blank. Blank is life.
Love.
My pen is.
Nonstop.
If you could, if you can induct three authors to the Author Hall of Fame, who would they be?
Eric Jerome Dickey, Mildred Taylor, Miss Bev,
Okay.
and I want to pick like an indie author, like a friend of mine. Mm, the first person that popped in my head is my friend Jessica Terry. She's been doing this for like 20 years, and she's released a whole bunch of books. And she's incredibly hardworking, and she's also like one of the most gracious people I know. So
Okay.
I want her in there too.
So if you can invite five authors or writers to dinner, who would they be? Dead or alive?
Hmm.
They could be the same people or separate. It's up to you.
Hmm. Do they just have to be authors, or can they be like screenwriters?
They could
Or
be screenwriters.
okay,
They're writers.
okay. Ryan Coogler. You said five, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Mm, Mara Brockett Kill.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Who else? Issa Rae. Quinta. And trying to think. Hmm, this is hard. All these names keep flying in my head. Um, oh, what's his name? Jordan Peele.
Okay. Okay. If okay, hold on. Let me just make sure I'm saying this sentence right. Do you feel like the okay? Better question. Define the Great American Novel, what it means to you, not what society thinks, and do you feel like you're achieving that definition?
Hmm, Great American Novel. Honestly, when I think of like the Great American Novel, I just think of like a huge melting pot of like characters, just a whole bunch,
Mm-hmm.
just a huge diverse cast of characters. And if that's the definition, then I hope I am. All my leads are black couples so far. I do have ideas for interracial couples, but the black character is always going to be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do tend to have a right array of characters. Like in Where There's Smoke, there is a trans character. Um, in Hot for Teacher, I thought it would be funny since in movies you always see uh, the group of white friends and then there's the one little token black friend. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have a group of black girls and they're gonna have that one white girlfriend, but
Mm-hmm.
she's still part of the crew. So, just having a huge melting pot of people, and I even try to explore the diaspora. The Richardson siblings, their mom is of Haitian descent, their father is a Southern black man,
Mm-hmm.
so a Southern African American man. So, yeah, just the Great American Novel to me is just stories that explore all aspects of life from all people, and that is reflective of where we live.
Mm-hmm.
This country is not just white people.
Right.
This country is not just cis people. This country is not just straight people. This country is not just rich people. And art should be reflective of that.
That's a ting ting on that one. um, what are three things you have to have in order to create a good writing environment?
A playlist. If you like listening to music, I personally do. Like this morning, I was the posts that I posted on IG threads and on TikTok about this. I use my brother's music. My brother's a jazz musician, and his music is on various different platforms. And I was actually listening to his music. I was listening to his album. He plays saxophone, flute, and I believe piano. And he had a song that he wrote for me and for our sister Jackie. It was called "Song for My Sisters," and I was just listening to it on repeat. It's a 7 minute song, and I just kept listening to it as I was writing. I personally also um, I have anxiety, and I'm blessed to live in California. And as you know, there's basically a dispensary on every corner. So I'll take half an edible. I'll have my coffee. I have my music, and that's what I need. Uh, I wait for it to kick in, and it helps. It helps quiet down a lot of the noise that comes in here,
Mm-hmm.
and the coffee keeps me alert. And I just put hand to keyboard and
You
give
go
it a
for it.
go. Just go for it.
I heard that. I agree with you. I feel like you have to relax your mind. Now, I'm not one that has to relax throwing it in the air or taking a gummy or something. But for those that do, you go for it. I have to have a cocktail though, especially if I'm writing a spicy scene.
Hmm.
I find that I write better, and I'm not an author. I'm just writing, but I write better with a cocktail, especially something like a little spice, because I feel like my mind goes. I don't put any limitations when I have a little cocktail.
No, I get it. I have songs that like okay, I might I know that we can cuss, but I know that there's certain words that they get a little.
Yeah,
But if I'm I guess Kungalingus, I don't know if that's
yeah.
how that is. If I'm writing a scene that involves that, I listen to Ari Lennox's song "Pressure."
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
have songs that I have that go with particular, like if it's a slow scene, a slow like love making scene,
Mhm.
then I'll listen to "Take Care" by Janet Jackson, which is actually what the book is. That's where I got the title for the book. I have songs that go with particular like whatever position you're doing right now. I have a song for it.
Okay. Okay. What's coming up next? What do you got going on for 2020? The remaining of 2025, and any projects, any appearances other than the three events that you told us about?
Just the three events. But I am going to be appearing on Storm's podcast on June 6th. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow,
Gang,
Saturday.
gang.
Saturday, I'm going to be appearing on Rayshawn Love's podcast. We're going to be recording it on Saturday.
Mhm.
And I believe on June 11th, I'm going to be on Kay Reed's podcast.
Mhm.
I'm doing a promotion for Stuff Your Kindle Day. I'm going to have one of my books is going to be free from June 19th to the 22nd.
Mhm.
It's going to be How for Teacher. I am one of many authors that is in a anthology that just came out May 6th called One Page One Love, and all the proceeds are going to the ACLU to help with civil rights. We're not affiliated with the ACLU, but all the proceeds are going to the ACLU. Um, my next book in my rom-com universe is called Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming. It is an anthology. Four best friends go to a trip to New Orleans. They see a psychic. The psychic lets them know that they're all going to meet the man of their dreams within 1 year's time. And so they each get a story where they're meeting and falling in love with their respective man.
Oh.
That comes out in August. One of the men is a gentleman by the name of Ranson Hamilton. He comes from a very wealthy family. Two of his brothers make an appearance in this book, and then they get their own novelettes, which the goal is to release both books on the same day. So
Okay.
The goal is 20K words each and release them both on the same day. So Cordell Hamilton and Braxton Hamilton are coming. Their books are coming hopefully at the end of the year, and then I'm gonna finish out the Richardson sibling trilogy in
Mhm.
2026, and book two in the Decadent series. If you've read Shia Batty, then you know who Heather is, and Heather's book is coming. She's going to be a nanny for a rapper,
Mhm.
and she's also going to be his dom. So that's coming. That's coming in 2026 too.
Okay. All right. Listen, I can't wait. Listen, send it to me. This, hey, that book we talked about come out on this day, so I'll be looking for it.
I'll send you the link to Book Funnel and I'll send it to you. I just
Thank
gotta
you.
make. I'll remind myself. I'll send it to you.
That's Hunty. Hey, you got me that time. Anything else? Any advice you want to give to new authors or older authors in this space right now?
um, for newer authors, older authors, I don't think there's anything you need to hear from me. I'm still pretty new myself. I've only been doing this
But
for two
there's
and a half
things that
years.
you know that they probably don't know. So share it.
Uh, okay. Well, the only thing that I really ever tell people is know your craft. Never stop learning. There is no end point. There's always evolution. You're always going to be learning about new things. So do not be closed off to learning new things. Um, craft books. Know your craft. I take comedy writing seriously. I watch video essays on it. I read books about it. Crafting a joke, all that stuff. Comedy writing is no joke, but it's definitely something that I take very very seriously, and I try to make sure that I work hard. I work hard for
Mhm.
those laughs. So make sure that you know about what you're doing. Make sure you know about your craft. But the one thing that I do tell folks in terms of like their brand, don't be an asshole. It sounds so simple.
Ooh,
It sounds so simple, doesn't it? But
yes.
I was literally told this twice when I was in theater major. We went to this thing called American College Theater Festival, and this gentleman was holding a class, and he said, "What's the most important thing about making it in this industry?" People were like, "Tenacity, talent, blah blah blah." He said, "No, just don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to work with an asshole." And then a few years later, when I was taking the television writing classes, that's literally what everybody was saying in there was you're going to be in this room, this small ass room with 12 other writers with different personalities. You don't want to be the one that nobody likes. You don't want to be the
Right.
one that nobody wants to work with. This is a very collaborative environment, and all this stuff is all interconnected. Um, Publishing. How many books get adapted into movies and television shows?
Exactly.
And then when you talk about black folks doing this, it gets even smaller. Everybody knows each other. Everybody knows each other. You don't want to be that person where they say, "Oh, you don't want to work with them," for whatever reason. People talk. You're only as good as your reputation. Do
And that's
not
what people got
be
to
an
remember.
asshole.
That
Sorry, what were you saying?
that right there is the key. People talk. You have to remain. Your brand has to remain intact because
Exactly.
people, for the littlest things, will start following people and stop reading their work because that one little thing that you didn't offended somebody, but and they feel like you're an ass.
Yeah, and it's hard to convey tone. I get that it's hard to convey tone on social media, but I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I'm Gen X and I had like a old school mama from Galveston, Texas, but common sense got to play a role. Common sense has to play a role when you post something that you know is probably going to ruffle some feathers. You can't then get mad that it did ruffle some feathers. So just be thoughtful. Be
Yeah.
thoughtful before you post anything, and just think about would you want to buy something from somebody who's behaving the way that you are right now?
And you're not always right.
You're not always right. It's fine. That's something that's so strange to me. Why are people so afraid of being wrong?
Just take the lesson.
Just take the lesson, learn from it, learn and grow. I didn't know about trigger warnings. I didn't have one in one of my manuscripts, and my beta reader let me know about it. Now I put trigger warnings. I didn't know. I apologize, and now I do it. It's not that hard.
I don't get it, but everybody got to be right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me give some church announcements, if you don't mind.
Obviously, go ahead. This is your show.
No. If you don't mind. All right. So, uh, I'm just gonna do the quick stuff. So, as you guys know, I have a PR company. I'm looking to help market authors in getting their work out there, especially those that are a little bit more shyer than most. So I have consulting fees. Everything's on my website. The link is in my bio. It's in my link tree. If I have merch, the Booked and Busy merch. If you're interested in Booked and Busy merch, you are more than welcome to get some. I do have some orders, and they will be going out on Tuesday, or tomorrow if I can get it done. I mean, on Saturday if I can get it done by Saturday. You guys can catch me on all the social sites: Instagram, Substack, Facebook, here, TikTok, YouTube, where this interview will be in its entirety. That is my goal this weekend, to get every video up and going on YouTube by Saturday. Hey, Cassandra. Events. So I will be this year, I'll be at the Chicago Boozy Book Tour. It's getting ready to be a time. I'm getting there early. I don't know what y'all doing, but that's where I'm going to be. So that's my last book event for this year. I also will be in 2026. I'll be at the Boozy Book Tour in Las Vegas. I believe there's tables still available for authors. There's tickets will be on sale. Tickets are on sale because I got my tickets. So it'll be a 3-day event. It's going down in Vegas. So if you don't know, now you know. Boozy Book Tour also has stops in. I think they're doing Arlington in July, Chicago in October, the Melanin Ball in February, and then they also for next year they are slated for Denver, Colorado, and Seattle, Washington. So a time is going to be had. I will be at all those stops except for Arlington. I'm giving an event. Me. The Napa Book and Wine Tour. So it'll be Labor Day weekend, September 4th through the 6th, 2026. 2026, next year. So it'll be a 3-day event where there will be a tour of the Bay Area. That night I think it's going to be a tennis shoe ball. I'm almost confirmed that that's what it's going to be. Saturday is the countryside of Napa will be at 5 wineries, and then Saturday night will be a game night, and then Sunday will be downtown Napa where we'll have brunch and do the downtown wineries. There's a Black-owned wine tasting room called the Brown Estates. There is a Black-owned wine store. And then there's a Black soul food restaurant that I'm going to go try out before I confirm with that. So more information about tickets and registration will be in September. Okay. What else? Companies. So we have the literary DFW, that is by Shannon. She's a Black woman who owns her own online bookstore. She does book boxes. It's called Spend a Night with a Book. And this is what the book box looks like. Okay. See how cute? Looks like a little Hermes bag.
That's so cute.
Right. And so with that, you pick the genre that she wants. She does her research and she selects a book for you. and there's three options. That option that I got came with a little adult toy.
Oh, nice.
It was
And
nice. And it
yeah,
was not expensive. It was
that
not
Napa trip sounds
expensive.
amazing. I'm like, can I squeeze that in?
Also, Shannon does websites for authors. She does author merch. She does everything. She can do candles and stickers and the bookmark. She do it all. Shannon is
Okay.
your girl. So if you're interested in using her services, hook Shannon from the Literary DFW or Shannon via I Read Books. Either site, I'm sure that's fine. Second thing is um, the Black Storms podcast, Black Girl Tired Book Talk. Y'all make sure y'all check out she's one of my clients. Y'all make sure y'all go check her out. When I tell you she is the hood intellectual, she gonna get you with a dissertation or two. But her interview questions are so thought provoking. It really makes you really think about the space that we're in and the work that she does to ensure that Black authors are highlighted in the best light. It's top tier. Um, Also, uh, who else is on here? I will be hosting the Black author takeover, the denims and sorry, Shelly, if I f this up. The is it Denim and Converse Black Author Takeover in Los Angeles, April 25th, 24th and 25th. So I'll be a host. Storm will be podcasting live from there, and it's going to be a good time. Okay? It's going to be a good time. So if you're interested in doing an event in the Los Angeles area, please contact author Shelly P. If you're looking for an editor, Mark by Ty Lee, MARK apostrophe D by Tylee, Tyle. She is responsible for the editing for some of Jaquel's books, not Bella J, Brianna Michelle, Z Renee, and a whole, Aubrey J. It's a whole host of authors that she's worked with. So you know she's good and she is fair with her price. So make sure that you pay her worth because she's gonna give you everything she got. So Mark by Tylee is a good editor. If you're looking for teas, okay, to put in your book boxes, the Urban Tea Room, Natalie from the Urban Tea Room, she will turn teas turn the blend of tea inspired by your characters. And it's a good, I tell you, that tea so good. That tea is so good. It's loose leaf tea. It is premium quality. The Urban Tea Room, please make sure that you guys are following her. If you're looking to get your book sprayed or you need covers, Jess, the Biblio, I can't remember her name right now, but the link, all these links is in my bio. Okay, you can find Jess, you can find Erica, the Reading Baker. Let me tell you something. Hold on. I got one of these left. This
So you
was
about to show me a cookie?
oh my god, these cookies are so good. It's two cookies in here. So this is the sneaker doodle with toffee.
Ooh.
To die for. To effing die for. The Rita Baker. That's what we call her. She is the reading baker, but make sure
Sold.
y'all go here.
Sold. When it comes to food, you don't even have to give that big of a pitch to me.
So her link is in my bio. It's eSweets.
Okay.
eSweets, okay? Um, did I forget anybody? Anybody in here that know what I'm supposed to say? I think that's it. That's all I got today. That's all I got. I decided I ran out of gas. But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I had so
I
much
appreciate
fun.
you. I appreciate this. Won't be the last time.
Thank you.
This will not be the last time. You are so interesting to talk to. So when I get to LA, we're gonna have to meet.
We will. We definitely will.
Absolutely. Oh, before I go, coming up on Pop Your Shit, I have author Jade Jones. Super duper excited to talk to her. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Sunday, I have author Navi Robbins. He will be at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, because I have to work that night. And then on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have author Blake Carrington. If y'all ain't never read that man books, I'm gonna need y'all to go check it out. Okay, so Blake Carrington will be my guest, and on the 30th, I have Cassie Reese, which is author C.M. Campbell. She's gonna wind up the month. So that's what I have coming up on Pop Your Shit. I hope you guys join me, and thank you again for coming.
Thank you for having
And
me.
your next book's coming out what day? When do you release your next book? You said August?
Yeah, August 29th.
Okay. So August 29th, I will be looking for that anthology.
Okay.
All right, y'all. You guys have a good night and happy reading. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.